it's new!
Yeah. In this episode, we will start our journey in the Netherlands as I have to deliver some parts for Go in Style, who's actually the sponsor of this episode, to some really cool bodybuilders in Germany, Denmark, Sweden and Norway. It is Monday morning and I have just delivered a load from Sweden to Koopmann Expedite in the eastern part of the Netherlands. And as winter already has come to Scandinavia, our trucks get really dirty at this time of the year. Are you a fucking farmer? Shit. But even though he might be a farmer, he loves trucks and he's really very helpful every time I come for washing my truck. So I really think there's still hope for the next generation. But we better hit the road now because I have an appointment at Go in Style at 10 o'clock. And you never know how long time it will take in Holland because of the traffic. And as mentioned, there's nothing better than to start the week in a new wash truck. But after just, I think it was 80 kilometers, the truck already looks like this again. But from the distance, look at this. I think it is as beautiful as always. We are at the main store and warehouse of Go in Style, from where orders are shipped out to all over Europe on daily basis. It is a kind of cool place because it's much more than a traditional warehouse with a shop. Here, right next to the shop, they have created a Hall of Fame where they exhibit very nice trucks from customers or other collectors that all are in a class of their own. This week it's the 1 million Scania produced in Zwolle in the Netherlands, a production that started back in 1964. And that is actually 5 years before Scania started producing the world famous V8 engine in 1969. And actually there are produced 3 times as many Scanias in Zwolle in the Netherlands than in Södertälje in Sweden. And did you actually know that Scania started as Vabis back in 1891 by producing train wagons and then later merged with a bicycle company, and together they started producing trucks in 1902. Cool history and a very strong brand. Actually, Scania Zwolle did an auction on this 1 millionth truck at Go in Style in Holland, and now this truck is actually sold. Next to the 1 millionth Zwolle truck, we find another living legend, the legendary Gears Brothers truck, a piece of art that has been totally renovated and today looks better than new and is called the Time Machine. This 143 with 500 horsepower back from 1995 has made millions of kilometers and can still roam the roads of Europe today as it is mounted with the newest tachograph. Hall of Fame with a cozy atmosphere, and I must say I'm very proud to find a model of my Scania 770, the old one, the black one, that I actually took to the United States back in 2022 and drove more than 30,000 kilometers in it over there. We actually drove all the way from New York over Times Square and Fifth Avenue, over the Rocky Mountains, crossing the Golden Gate Bridge, all the way to LA, Texas, then to Florida, crossing the Keys, visiting the previous president at the White House before going back to New York. What a cool journey, and I could start doing it tomorrow again, but actually we have already planned something new, something big coming up for 2026, so stay tuned here on the channel. But enough relaxing in the Hall of Fame, we need to get loaded and we need to get back on the road. Smile. In the warehouse, Sachel is busy finishing show bumpers and sun visors that will go to some of the stores in Scandinavia and back home here to my cave in Södertälje. The idea is that visitors in the cave or in stores can see the different bumpers with different types of lights mounted and get an idea of what they prefer. And did you see the mudguard? Actually, you can customize your own mudguards with your name, your logo, the company name or whatever by going into the webshop and order them there. Of course, I will put a link in the description. Okay. Are you satisfied?
Yeah, I'm satisfied.
Is Paul interrupting again? Could somebody please bring him home? See you. Doei. Unter Stress. That's it, we're loaded. We have 6 places to go to, all the way from Germany, Denmark, Sweden, then to Norway, and then back home to Stockholm, where I live. Finishing the paperwork and I'm good to go. First stop, Germany. I thought there was a lot of traffic in the Netherlands in the morning, but I get wiser in the evening. It is my goal to reach the first unloading place for tomorrow, north of Osnabrück tonight, so I can take my 9 hours there and start a new day from the morning. At around 9 o'clock in the evening, I stop in for a truck stop only a few kilometers away from where I have to unload, and after a good night of sleep, I make it to Scania Steinfeld.
Oh, no. Get up.
Google says they open at 7 o'clock, but the door says something totally different. I hope there might be a mechanic that checks in earlier, so I take a walk around the building to see if there might be somebody. And you know what I then spotted through the fence? An original silver Griffin. So now I need to get unloaded as fast as possible, so I can take the time to get a closer look at this beauty.
Moin!
The Silver Griffin is a special edition of the R-Series and was launched back in 2015 as a limited edition of only 100 trucks that could be ordered as 2 or 3 axle trucks with the legendary V8 engine between 580 and 730 horsepower. Each truck has its own unique serial number, and the Griffin refers to the Scania logo, where the Griffin was implemented back in 1901, representing the coat of arms of Malmö in Skåne. And actually Scania is Latin and means Skåne, the dangerous island. The limited edition, the Silver Griffin, has become a very popular collector's truck. And as I sold my old 770 to Versteiner in Holland, there was actually standing a Silver Griffin in line there. I ended up buying a 143, but the Silver Griffin was sold even faster than the 143. Enough sentimental talking, we need to get back on the road. Next up is actually a guy who has helped me out earlier when I was on my way from Sweden to Holland for a truck show and I had some technical issues with my 8x8. Koopmann, Team Koopmann, close to Bremen. Koopmann is a recovery company with a lot of big recovery trucks, and the company is family owned and has been family owned for almost 100 years now, and they have some very cool trucks standing around. I always joke with Kurt, who is one of the 2 brothers who run the company today, because I say their logo and the colors and the airbrush on the trucks somehow reminds me of a circus. And somehow it is a circus, because they have so many different artists running around and doing different stuff. Beside the recovery part, Koopmann also builds trucks for customers in their workshop, and that's where the go-in-style parts are needed today. But beside the customers' trucks, we also find one of the latest builds of an R model, which Koopmann bought directly from the production line and which has only gone 10 kilometers until now. I am looking very much forward to see which plan they have for this truck. I need a signature and then we need to hit the road again. But before we can do that, it is time for a photo shoot and a cup of coffee with Kurt and his family.
Everything I touch turns to gold. It's hard to
what a truck! Next up is Scania in Braunschweig, where we have to deliver some sun visors, and from there it goes directly towards Denmark again. I am born and raised in Denmark, but actually I've lived here in Sweden for many years now. But every time I come from the south, from Germany, and go north and cross Hamburg and go through the Alp Tunnel, for me it feels like getting home. So why not stop in at my friends from Scania Sønniksen's? You might know them, red and white trucks from Denmark, close to the German border, because they are some hardcore pimpers. Look at the legendary Scania 420 here at Scania Sønniksen. But today we're going to talk about this truck, because I think it's quite amazing. It's a garbage truck that is used every day. And look at it, it looks like new. And look at the design, everything, huh? The colors, typically Scania Sønniksen colors, the logo and everything. And look how damn low that thing is. Huh? This is crazy what they have created. And standing right here next to an next gen. Look at the size difference. But it's such a cool build. And the interior, I don't know if you can see it now, but it's all leather, brown leather. And now look at this. Look at this beast of a machine. This is kind of crazy, huh? Okay, I want to go for garbage in my next life. Look at this. Look at this amazing truck. Spinners on both axles, boxes, everything, and of course the pipes. Next up is Scania Vojens, which for me is a very special place because those guys built my Scania 166, which I'm driving today. Even though this might look like a normal Scania workshop where you get your services done, it is much more than that. This workshop does only the building, the pimping of Scanias for their customers. And they are experts in that, and they even got their own logo for that, saying Scania building in Danish. Scania opbygning. Good to see the whole team again and deliver some parts for their builds. But for me it's time to hit the road again. But before that I need to say hello to one of my colleagues from SL Transport. We go north on the highway as our next stop is Scania Aarhus. I just love coming here in Aarhus in Denmark because the city Aarhus is called Smilets by in Danish, which actually means the city of smiles, and that for a reason. Everybody is smiling here, and another big benefit is that I get the chance to see one of my daughters who actually lives here in Aarhus, and together we are shown around in the workshop and get the chance to see these nice builds. Thanks to Scania Aarhus for inviting us in, and thanks for infecting us with your smiles. But there are other builders than Scania in Denmark, and one of them is Øgaard, who lives or has his workshop right in the middle of Jutland, and he is the next guy that we are going to visit. Øgaard has existed for almost 20 years now and is a known builder amongst customers from all over Scandinavia. Here in the workshop we find all types of brands that get pimped, even a Mercedes. Cool place and cool people, and if we take a look in the yard outside of the workshop, we can see that these guys actually are really busy. Next stop, Coopmann. I think my Danish audience already knows I just love bridges. As a truck driver, I get proud, I get grateful, I get honored because these bridges are actually built for us so we can get our stuff around the country. After crossing Vejlefjordbroen and the bridge over the Little Belt, I make it over the Great Belt Bridge, which is actually one of the biggest bridges in the world, and more than 20,000 cars cross this bridge in average every day. Actually, the two pylons of the Great Belt Bridge are the two highest points of Denmark with a 254 meters, and the span between the pylons is the second biggest in the world with 1,625 meters. And we who come from Jutland always make fun of the guys from Copenhagen because we can cross the bridge for free and then we pay, but nobody trusts people from Copenhagen, so they have to pay before they cross the bridge. After crossing the bridge, the rain suddenly turns into snow, and as snow in Denmark means chaos, I turn in to my friend Thomas and stay there for the night. Thomas has a recovery company too, and as he might get busy tonight, he has already made it to the workshop, so he can be ready to help on the road if needed. Beside all his recovery trucks in blue, Thomas has a big love for old 143s, just like me, because that's the kind of truck he started his career in. I joined Thomas and some of his friends to Superdik, a truck show in Holland earlier this year. And as we are standing here in the workshop and discussing which show was the best and which was the most fun and so on, we decide that we will participate in Superdik again next year and another show. Yeah, you're right, the one in Italy directly at Lake Como. Thomas's phone calls and suddenly he's gone, because as predicted, his help will get needed tonight. Next morning I continue my journey towards Sweden, but during the night most of the snow has disappeared here in Denmark. I am leaving Denmark through the tunnel towards Sweden, and when I make it up on the bridge I start smiling, as here the Swedish people have to pay before they cross the bridge and the Danish people can go over the bridge and then we pay. First thing to do after we cross the bridge is to get fueled again, as Sweden is very cheap on diesel right now. The further north we get, the more snow there comes again, but suddenly the snow has all gone and I meet some guys who want to chat with me. Time flies by and I make it to Svinesund later that night, which is the most used border between Norway and Sweden, as more than 20,000 cars are crossing here every single day, and 3,500 of those are trucks. Now that we have crossed the border into Norway, it is very important that we get into the customs service and get all the papers signed. Otherwise, it is illegal to go to Norway with your products. Minutes later, we're ready to continue. Thank you, Norway. Impressive how fast that can be done. Next stop is MP Truck Design in Hønefoss, northwest of Oslo. And as I want to avoid all traffic jams in the morning, I start my day really early. My plan is working and I make it to MP Truck Design before the big morning rush. So now I only need to wait until they get here so I can get unloaded. MP Truck Design is one of the best known builders here in Norway, and beside a nice workshop where they build trucks on interior and exterior, they have a really nice little shop. And here in the shop you can get everything you need for your truck, even fast lace, which is one of my favorites. And here in the shop is actually where I have to deliver the bumper and the sun visor as showcases that we picked up earlier in the Netherlands. So we better get in action unloading. Are you curious about that stuff that are on these pallets? A true bestseller. Stainless steel air horns with the best sound ever. The ones that I have on my 166 too.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Mission completed, and the last stop on the journey is actually Södertälje, the man cave, here where I live, because here I'm gonna present the bumpers and the sun visors. But would you like to see more about what's going on here in the cave, or where we might go with the next load on my Scania 166? Stay on the channel, like and subscribe, and then we'll see each other soon again here on the channel.